is up? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going over the StormTrooper, aka Ying Yang. Let's check it out. All right, this is a 2018 Can MX3, but really it's like a 2023. So originally I bought a machine months before the Sand Show, and it was a pretty beat up mess. I got it for very cheap. It was a bent frame, 64-inch machine that was converted to 72 via a reflex suspension, which is like some extensions. So it wasn't the greatest car, but I got it for a good price, and I wanted to build a beater. Unfortunately, things changed and it didn't become a beater. It became a badass machine. Once I found the frame was bent, we ended up replacing the frame or ordering one. It was a 2023 frame, and while I had it as bare frame, I ended up powder coating the frame, and then it just snowballed from there. High-end parts, big turbo. Let's get into it. It's a badass machine. I built this for the wife, but obviously this has a lot of things that I like. Sneaky son of a bitch. And something I would build for myself, but has a lot of nice pink touches for the wife, as well as pretty much all her machines or cars are white. So starting off from the bones and up, we built this machine with a white powder coated frame. Pretty extensive as far as work goes. A lot of work to tear apart a machine and do it from the frame up. But since we ordered a new frame, I thought, man, if I don't powder coat this, I'm missing out on an opportunity. And I'm so glad it did. So in the front, you can't see it as much. It's covered by plastics. But in the rear, it just makes this machine look so freaking cool. It's all white in the back here. This whole canvas of white looks so sexy in my opinion. And that is the bones of this machine. So coming off the frame or the chassis, we're gonna go into the suspension and what is bolted onto this beautiful chassis. And we have LMUTV and HCR pretty much throughout, front and back. We wanted to keep this pretty much lightweight, so I ended up doing the HCR Dooner kit, which is these arms right here. See, they're all skeletonized, very lightweight. Definitely recommended it for a 2C, and you guys are out here doing it. So that's the rear training arms on this machine. Radius rods, I still wanted the high clearance look because it looks so good. And you know, LMUTV, we've been running them for quite some time, and they make basically the baddest radius rods at the best price, undoubtedly. So 6061 aluminum, just like every other manufacturer uses, but at a very affordable price. Beats out all the other competition. And if you guys want to save some money, use code LEANMACHINE and you'll save at least 10%. Sometimes it's more on my website, glifeutv.com. So the radius rods with the pull plate, and then this is the newer style dog bone kit. So this is for the 12-point 2022 and up style frame. So there's 12 points. Excuse me, 10. No, yeah, 10 points.
He's having a seizure.
And this actually has dog bones on the inside of it. I don't know if you guys can see it there. So it's very reinforced. Actually, you know, I think it's pretty much overkill for a Dooner car, but I wanted it to be strong and last a long time. So we did alternate the colors. You're gonna see a lot of alternation with the gloss black and white. So gloss black, white, black, and that's pretty much the theme on the whole machine. Sticking with the rear, we have billet knuckles made by ZRP. Those are very nice pieces, and we have those on the machine to pretty much bulletproof what is already a bulletproof suspension. So axles, we ended up going with Demon. As you can see here, front and back, those axles were great. Suspension wise, the shocks are still stock except for the springs. The springs are done by MTS Off-Road. I just powder coated them gloss black to go with the theme. A couple other touches that I did to this machine since I had it apart is the sway bar is now white, which is normally black. So that looks really cool because it alternates again, white, gloss black, and then white. So these are LMUTV sway bar links. These are the HCR mud flaps for the rear to keep the trailing arm and hub clean of any rocks. Wheels, we have Metal Effects Off-Road Deltas non-beadlocks. I decided to go non-beadlock on this machine, again keeping with the lightweight theme, and we're doing Blackbird 32. So I still got to get these comp cut to save some weight, but these are a nice lightweight wide paddle option that's probably one of the best on the markets, and it's also a molded tire and not one of those vulcanized rubbery tires. So I really like the molded tire a lot better. All right, real quick on the wheels. Now these look great, don't get me wrong, but we're out here in the dunes. In the desert, we have this badass custom set of Venom forged wheels that are billet cut. They are beautiful, they are sexy. I'm gonna show you guys that right now. Attached to those are some BFG KM3s that are also sexy. And the stance, let me do a little 360 footage with the drone so you guys can see the stance with those wheels. They are on a 4x4 offset 8-inch wide rim, and the thing is like 78 inches wide. I think wider than that. It's a wide machine with those Venom wheels, but it looks so freaking good. So shout out to our sponsor, Venom Wheels. They got the hottest wheels on the market, and they're coming out with more designs. We're probably gonna cop a set for the Maverick R that we just bought, and man, they're killing it. So shocks, I mounted the reservoirs to the frame with a very sexy look, I would say. So I was looking at too much white here. Now it looks good here, but it kind of went up and there was not enough black, so we put the shocks on the frame. In order to do that, we did have to cut off the frame tab here. There's usually a tab that's right here, and you wouldn't be able to put this on. Whoa! But we removed that before I powder coated it, and we were able to mount the shock reservoirs here, and it just looks so damn good. We'll come back to this in a little bit to go over the engine performance mods, but let's go to the front suspension and show you guys that. Pretty much the same products, same high quality stuff, and it looks so good. For the front, we're running the big T-bows, also made by Sand Tires Unlimited. Same Metal FX deltas, except for obviously different wheel diameter, or excuse me, wheel width. Suspension in the front, we have MTS springs, MTS limit straps, which I really like because it comes with a billet piece that mounts to the sway bar location. I really like this design, and you don't have to worry about adjusting them. Everybody says good things about these. So sway bar in the front, this machine actually came with an E-box sway bar. I just got it powder coated in white, and that's attached to black sway bar links by LMUTV. We also got tie rods by LMUTV, and we have, I don't know if you guys can see it there, but a Black Ops machine steering brace. So that's a nice piece that we put on this machine to help with the loose steering that you get with the Can-Am MX-3. And I'm excited to see how that wears in overall over time. But it's a really nice piece that's made of billet aluminum. HCR Duna arms for the front. What can I say, man? These things look awesome. We attached some CA Tech ball joints that I had at the house. I said, why not throw those on? They are black. Currently, we do not have our billet knuckles in the front. I actually have those at home. I just haven't got around to installing those, but it will have ZRP billet knuckles, demon axles in the front. All right, gusset kit. On this one, we opted for the LMUTV gusset kit. Now, normally I always use a TMW one, but this machine, I really like the skeletonized look of the front bulkhead because it matches everything else. And we'll see that theme throughout the machine. Again, we're going for lightweight, and this looks really cool. All those diamond cutouts, you'll see that all over on a lot of parts from different manufacturers, including this TMW front bumper that we did in gloss black, and we did the white skid plate here. Shock tower brace, we did an HCR shock tower brace, which is made by TMW, and we did that in gloss black, so it pops out in between the plastics, and that looks awesome. It has that LED that's backlit. We're gonna get you guys some footage of the night. Holy crap, this freaking hole. Grill in the front, we have a TMW grill, one of my favorite companies that makes parts gloss black with a gloss white logo, and it ties in with the rest of the machine, which is basically all white. So I had all the panels painted or powder coated in a gloss white, and then I had our friends over at Proline Wraps clear bra or PPF, paint protection film, all throughout the white, so it's protected from the sand, it's protected from the rocks, and hopefully it won't chip anytime soon, because that's a big deal with paint. It starts to chip. Rocks hit it, it'll chip, and you want to protect that stuff. So it is a little bit more expensive to go that route, paint then PPF versus just wrapping it white, but overall it's worth it because you get this really shine, this gloss look to it. Details on this machine, the headlights look insane because they are all white, Baja Designs replacement headlights with amber lenses, so that looks wicked. And we carried on that look with the Squadron Sports attached to some Chupacabra race mirrors, which I think looks absolutely sick. Here in the front, we also got 5150 for their Gen 2 eyebrows. Those are color changing, and honestly I just read them all white, but they look really cool because the lens is like a frosted lens. Here we have some lights that I bought off of eBay. These are already smoked black. I said, heck, why not? And we got these smoked black tail lights. They look really cool on the machine. Again, carry on the same theme. For the cage, we have a cage made by TMW Off-Road. This is their standard radius cage, but we did something a little bit different on this one. We actually reached out to the boys over at SF Raceworks, and they made us window net frames with an A-pillar plus bar. This is your A plus bar, and then these are the window frames that they made me over at SF Raceworks. It did take a little bit of engineering for them because they normally don't make them this way. They make them go up on their cages, but since this was a custom deal, shout out to Mike and Dean over there for hooking me up and making me something that nobody else has. So they made this custom plate here that welds on to the factory or the TMW B pillar, and then that gave it a straight angle so the window net frame would swing, you know, the same parallel with the door. So this actually swings this way, and it swings the same way as the door, so I could open either the door or the window net, you know, without having to open one or the other first. So pretty cool. I really love how that came out. Big shout out to our friends at SF Raceworks and our friends at Juan's Custom Upholstery, because he did these nettings for me. So big shout out to him. He offered to do them, and you know, a lot of you guys that watch the channel, you guys are vendors, or you guys make products yourself, and you guys reach out to me, and that means a lot to me because I look up to you guys. You guys make amazing stuff, and you know, for you guys to reach out to me and help me out, that's like I'm doing something right. So that came out great. I love the window nets. I love the doors that TMW makes. So these are TMW off-road doors, but these are their race version. So these have aluminum skin, but also aluminum tube frame. So the frame, you wouldn't be able to tell, but again, we're keeping with the lightweight theme on this machine. So again, I wanted it light, so we did the aluminum frames. You can't tell, but they are a lot lighter than the other ones. It's actually pretty noticeable in comparison to my blue car, which has steel frames, and they're lighter, trust me. So attached to those doors are this nice, really nice DKZ off-road padding that they made me custom made. This machine basically is our shop car for Stay Dirty clothing. This is a Stay Dirty logo, and they made me some custom really nice paddings here. This is like C-Deck, Hydro, Turf, all that good stuff. DKZ made this custom made, and this actual design he actually made custom for me that he only runs on his personal machine. So I got one of the only ones with like this, so it looks really good. We did do the pink insert in the middle just because it matches the rest of the pink in the machine. We'll show you guys in a second. Geyser for the door handles. Doors closed, amazing. If you guys already know, the TMW doors are probably the best doors on the market. Here we go, carbon fiber. We got a couple carbon fiber items on this machine. We have the B pillar trim covers here, which look excellent. We also, on the shocks, which I forgot to go over, the shock shaft guards in the rear are also carbon fiber. Those are made by the guys over at Forworks. So they make the carbon fiber. We do not sell their products, but they do make great products. I mean, hopefully one day we will sell them. So maybe not. Let's jump into the interior, because I think I covered everything outside. Quick note, this machine was actually a Visco lock, and I converted it to a smart lock, but I haven't completely wired it yet. But it is a stronger differential, and that's what we stuck in it. Pretty cool. Interior wise, seats, we got these made by PRP. These are awesome, white and black. This is their XCR seat, as you can see here. We got the PRP logo there. We got pink to match the pink here. These are also made by PRP. PRP, one of our sponsors, and also a vendor that we sell. Like I said before, all these products are going to be available in a link down in the description. And you know, I only choose the best products. I mean, a lot of guys like this car, and it's for a reason. It's the products that are on there. I can build anything, but if I don't have the right products on the machine, the right brands, it ain't gonna look all that great. So following up here, the dash. This dash is a very beautiful and, how do I say it, custom dash. It's very custom. So basically this is a Glasscraft dash, very beautiful. I got this used, had a bunch of holes in it. I reached out to my buddy Chris over at Stay Flush Motorsports, and he freaking hooked it up and made this machine look so much cooler by giving it a two-tone look, like my hat. By the way, new hats, by the way. Well, check those out on the website. Chris made these brackets that are pretty much covering the whole front face of the dash, and it gives it a beautiful two-tone look because I could powder coat them white, and he pretty much customized it for all the stuff that I was going to add to this machine. So we have our cluster here, factory cluster. We have a tablet that goes here, and we have a switch works. We'll get into that in just a second. So he did all that, and it makes it really sexy from, you know, looking inwards from outwards. It looks just so good. So we got a steering wheel by PRP. This is their black version of the Comp R, and we're running an NRG quick release with the PRP hub adapter. So that actually brings the steering wheel up to you about 2 inches, which I don't mind because when I drive I kind of want the steering wheel close to me. I think it helps with reaction time, but that's what racers say. I don't know, I can't really tell. I ain't no racer. Down here we got more carbon fiber and geyser goodies, more Forworks. This is their center console piece, and then we have another carbon fiber Forworks piece here in the back. Geyser makes a shift handle and grab handle. So grab handle, shift handle, and their shift gate, which I powder coated white. I like the shift gate because I can throw in high, or if I'm over here I can go from high to low pretty easily. So I like that. Go to reverse. I like that. Nice shift gate by Geyser. In the roof here, we did insulate the top. This is a DKZ off-road C-Deck, Seafoam, Hydro Turf, whatever you want to call it. This piece quiets down the cab a whole ton, and it looks really cool. So there's no denying how awesome this thing looks from the inside. It's probably, the inside is probably nicer than the outside, I'm gonna be honest. It looks really good. So shout out to DKZ, they hooked it up. And since we're pointing at it, we got Dune Gear rock lights, dome lights all over this machine. So we have one here, we have one on each wheel well, which really lights up the machine. Again, we'll do a lighting portion of this video towards the end. And then we have one on each wheel well, one behind the grill, and then there's a Dune Gear micro light that's part of that TMW shock tower brace. And then there's another Dune Gear rock light pointing down at the engine, and at night this machine looks so cool. Stick around for the ending of this video for the lighting portion. But back to Dune Gear, 9 of their dome light slash rock lights on this machine with variations of the radius and the flat, depending on where I put them at. But this is probably the best dome light on the market. They also have a touch version which you could touch and it'll turn on and off. I usually just wire everything to my switches because I have multiple lights. So this one is tied to the 2 interior lights at the wheel wells, and the other ones are tied together as rock lights. So I can turn them on separately, and I like that. Last thing in the inside is going to be this Trooper Cover Off-Road 11-inch deluxe mirror, also available on the website. This pretty much matches the design language of the Quero Race mirrors, also made by Trooper Cover Off-Road. All sexiness, all billet, like a lot of the billet stuff on this machine. Just high quality products. So let's go to the rear and check out what's in the trunk. I love this fucking car. One last thing, we got pumper hoses here, and we'll show you guys in a second where the pumper is. So these hoses work great, give you fresh air. One thing I want you guys to notice is that there isn't much blocking the view. I like to be able to see out of the machine, also for the wife. Remember, I built this machine for my wife, and I want her to be able to see out the back for safety reasons. So nothing covering up the rear, including the pumper, including the intercooler. Everything is pretty much nice and low. So let's go on and show you the back. All right, well, sticking with the pumper, here it is bolted to the brace here, and that guy is on a nice low-key location. The hoses are out here, and I haven't had no issues with this machine. As far as the pumper goes, it's pretty cool. It works great, and it's hidden. I can see everything. It's pretty cool. So here we have the coolant reservoir, which is bolted up to a full flight racing bed delete. This is probably one of the sexiest bed deletes on the market. This normally is made for cages that don't have the C-pillar, but he made this one custom made for me to work out. And normally if you don't have the C-pillar, then you would run this style of bed delete. But if you run a C-pillar, it might be a little bit more difficult, but message him and see what he says. I'm sure he can help some of you guys out. But the reason I picked this bed delete is because of the design. Again, we're going with lightweight. So in the front, the gusset kit has skeletonizing. The arms have skeletonizing. You know, they're skeletonizing here in the plate. They're skeletonizing in up front on the shock tower brace and on the bumper. The front arms, and then here. This is a skeletonized bed delete. It just looks so cool, the triangulation and the cutouts. I really love how that came out. And that thing pretty much holds up all the products that we need for this machine, like this intercooler by RPM Power Sports. This thing is a big dog. It's big and chunky, heavy, and this guy holds it up. And then we also have the RPM catch can. Big shout out to RPM because they gave us all these products, as well as we pretty much built this car to put in their show or their booth at the Sand Show. So this machine was there, it killed it. A lot of guys came out and looked at it, and you guys loved it. So thank you guys for the support. And we had it there at the RPM booth, and RPM Jason, I think, was happy. I brought a nice piece to the freaking show, so it looked great in his booth, brought in a lot of attention. And yeah, there's a lot of RPM products on this machine. More RPM products. We have charge tubes that were custom made in a white. So obviously I had talked to him about what we were going to do with the machine, and he decided, well, let me get you some custom charge tubes. So these are white, and they also have my logo. It's a little hidden here, but right there, G Life UTV. Pretty damn cool. So custom white ones with reinforced these reinforced bead rings here, and attached to that, of course, the RPM blow off valve. This thing sounds awesome when we're on the gas and off the gas. And sticking with the theme, the RPM blow off valve in that nice anodized black goes good with the white. So the last product on this machine from RPM is this awesome titanium custom made race pipe that he made me. This race pipe has a muffler, mini muffler on it, so it reduces the noise a little bit versus being completely, you know, straight pipe. It is very loud still, but it's so freaking sexy. One thing that I do want to do with this one is actually get it polished and then re-anodize it blue. And I'm gonna do the same thing to the intake cold side, which is made by T-Clan Fabrication. Check this out. So the boys over at T-Clan have this K&N filter with this custom tubing here. This one was made in titanium for me, and it looks freaking sexy, but it will look a lot sexier once I polish and anodize it, flame anodize it. So right now at the moment it's not. I asked for him just leave it raw because of course I was gonna go ahead and just basically anodize it after. So we'll polish it, anodize it, and we'll show you guys in the future. But that thing is awesome. Titanium looks really good. So titanium on this side, titanium on that side. You got your cool side, you got your hot side. And let's talk about the motor just a little bit. All right, motor wise, it's not actually anything crazy. So stock motor basically with a lot of sexy bolt-ons. And here we got some Evolution Power Sports products. We have their billet intake manifold. This is their Torrent B, I believe, for, you know, billet. I'm very happy with the way everything bolted up. And then attached to that is their fuel rail. So the fuel rail, billet, just something for bling. I honestly don't need it for the power level that I'm running, but it is nice to have. And one thing that actually makes this machine sing and make a lot of power is the turbo out in the front. Let's go check this out. All right, we'll remove this real quick. And here we have the Dynamite's bigger brother. This is the Paragon 43mm turbo kit by Evolution Power Sports. This thing is sexy, nice packaging, and it's pretty much custom made to Evolution Power Sports specs. So it's designed in a way where you could tell they put a lot of thought and effort to it. And yes, that's probably loose. I got a little bit of a leak there. I gotta fix that when I get back. Other than that, this is pretty much a basic turbocharged kit that you can bolt on yourself. We have them on the website. They're very easy to install. The only modification you have to do is actually put some head studs in the block. So that's done to that. The valve cover is actually a stock valve cover that we powder coated gloss black. To tie all the power packaging together, we did do a clutching package. This is an Evolution Power Sports branded tap clutch. So this clutch is made by Tap, but it's branded with the Evolution Power Sports billet black piece here. And they also tuned it, and I'm talking about Evolution Power Sports here. They tuned it specifically for their Paragon 43mm kit, so I didn't really have to do a whole bunch when it came to tuning. And then on the Helix secondary side, we have the Evolution Power Sports Helix, and that looks great. Nothing special about that besides it being more reinforced than the factory stuff. It also has aftermarket rollers by Rhino, and that's pretty much it for the clutching. The last thing I want to note is the Full Flight Racing scatter shield, which is this big guy here. So we're not running a clutch housing or cover. This is basically just a scatter shield, so if something does come apart, it doesn't, you know, go towards me or towards the bag. It just kind of contains it a little bit, and the damage isn't too bad. So that's pretty much the power plant. It's awesome, it runs great. We'll show you guys some footage towards the end of the video, make it a little extra longer video, just some raw footage of us riding this machine. So up top we got a 5150 whip. Currently we're running a red, white, and green hyper whip. Normally we'll put a hyper white on there, but I put both of those on the Maverick R for this trip. So I'm very happy with the way this thing came out. Big shout out to the companies that played a huge role in making this machine possible. I'm talking about our friends over at the Powder Coaters that painted and powder coated this whole machine. We're talking about Pacific Finish out in Riverside. We got our boys at RPM. They really did take care of us with all the products. We didn't pay for those. They put those out of their pocket. They took the time to make a titanium one for me. They really took the time to take care of this machine, and this build has their name on it for a reason, because they are awesome. Big shout out to Jason. The boys over at Dune Gear, we're actually camping right next to them this trip. I didn't know until we got here. They provided all the Dune Gear rock lights that you see on this machine. The lights are the best ones out there on the market, no doubt. The billet look, the anodizing, they don't fade. The anodizing doesn't fade. The LEDs are super bright, so definitely highly recommend them. TMW Off-Road, they played a huge part in getting me this cage at a very timely manner, because when I built this for the Sand Show, it was fast. We got this thing fast for the Sand Show, so they supplied us with a great deal on doors and cage. HCR supplied us with an amazing deal on the arms. LME TV has been a long-time sponsor. The race rods, the tie rods, all those products, they just kicked ass, dude. HCR, we've been running their products for quite some time, and they really hooked us up with the arm set. Baja Designs helped us, took care of us. PRP, one of our sponsors as well. And just all the other companies that put this thing together. Chris over at Stay Flush, Gavin over at Evil, getting me the parts like ASAP so I could build this machine. I literally built this machine in 2 weeks. There was a lot of pre-planning, there was a lot of products being ordered, there was parts at the powder coater, but from when I actually started the frame up was 2 weeks of build time, and it was fast, and it was a lot of long nights, but these companies made it happen. It's just huge help, huge thank you to Venom for the wheels. Thank you to Dave over at DKZ who made these custom made for me. Thank you to Juan's Upholstery who took care of me with the window net frames. You know, they took care of these window net frames because they are a viewer and they're a friend. So SF Raceworks, they literally built window net frames on a cage that they don't even make, and they did that custom for me. They don't do that for other people. They make badass nets for their cages, so if you guys need a cage with nets, I highly recommend SF Raceworks. They made an amazing job with these nets. They are freaking awesome. Safety is key, especially because my wife is going to be driving this. Let's go into the lighting portion of this video, show you guys the lighting, and then towards the very end there'll be some footage of the machine ripping the dunes. So thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Go buy parts. All the parts on this machine, with a couple of exceptions, are available at glivevtv.com. And when it comes to clothing, go pick up some merchandise at staydirtyclothing.com. We just got these new hats. We'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure you subscribe for the riding videos. They're always popping here in Glamis. Tuesday, January 7th. Where are the other trucks going? I'm jacked up. My voice is jacked up. Babe. God damn it. All right, it's Tuesday, January 9th. My voice is jacked up. I'm still super sick. The wife is gonna help me show you guys the lighting. Currently, the X3's in hover mode. It's got no shocks. Man, you guys are gonna make fun of me for what I sound. All right, I'm gonna turn this thing on for the wife. Here, hold that, girl. All right. All right, check it out. This thing is on right now. As you can see, the switch works very similar to other switch systems out there, but the biggest difference is this touchscreen that shows buttons and icons that are custom. They change, as you can see. It's not just, you know, a button. It's actually a screen behind there. So we got 12 buttons. There's an extra row here for the menus and stuff. For one, we got a headlights here. That turns on and off the headlights. Babe, hit the other one. That's gonna be your pods. And then we have Chase 1 and Chase 2. So they're different. And then we have the whips, of course. The dome light, which is tied to those lights right there. And then we have underglow, which is the rock lights. Here we have an overdrive button. This is basically my launch control on and off. ECU is basically from turning from normal to sport mode. 4-wheel drive. This one, yeah. This one says front locker, but it's not a front locker. It's actually just the engagement for the 4-wheel drive. And then this one was the closest one I could find that looks like a power steering, even though it says dash lights. And that's our power steering. So, and of course the corner is what starts the car. Very cool. The switch works, it operates very nicely. I did have some bugs I've been going through, but this system is very new, and so far it's been working. Glamis was cool, Mirage was cool. So babe, walk around the lighting with us. Yeah,
so we got the 5150 whip in the tricolor. We have squadrons. Then we have 5150 eyebrows. And then we have Baja designs. They come together?
Yeah, it's a headlight kit.
So that would be the headlight kit, and I believe we have these on Big Blue too.
Yeah.
We have the rock lights. We have dome lights. We have more rock lights. Which, this is super cool because then you can see all of this that your man would really want.
All right, one thing I didn't record is the Lit Industries chase lights, and these are very nice. It's gonna be hard to see at night, but they're basically billet aluminum, and they have, you know, LEDs. I have two switches on the Switchworks, one for the reds with amber and then the other one for white and amber. Personally, I don't care for the lights that are like that. It should be solid red and then solid ambers. I'm not sure why he tied the white and ambers together, but still it looks cool. And as far as the way it fits to the cage, it's very cool. So I think that's it. I'm gonna get back inside and drink my tea, girl.